On. Hello friends, in previous lectures we have studied rotational dynamics, but in this one we will study in series of videos about electric current, then electrostatics and so on. So we are starting electric current. This is the first lecture of electric current, and we will continue in different number of video lectures. Electric current. Electric current. Actually, whenever charge flows through given surface area, current is caused. Suppose this is any imaginary surface area and charge particles are flowing through the surface area, then current is caused. And average current is defined as rate of flow of charge. Rate of flow of charge. Rate means time rate of flow of charge. Time rate of flow of charge. Suppose in delta t time, delta q charge flows through this given surface area perpendicular to surface and parallel or anti-parallel to this area, then this delta q by delta t is average electric current. And instantaneous electric current equals to limit delta t tends to 0 delta q by delta t. This instantaneous current is also like average current, but the given time interval should be very, very short. This should be tending to 0. Means we can write down this instantaneous current I as dq by dt. dq by dt. If you differentiate this charge with respect to time, this differential coefficient of charge with respect to time will give you instantaneous current. But you can find average current in this way. Basically, you know, charge is a scalar quantity. It's a scalar quantity. It has magnitude. It has direction also. This direction is taken from higher potential to lower potential, positive to negative potential, higher to lower potential. This direction of current doesn't depend on nature of charge. For positive and negative both charges, it is taken from higher to lower. So it has direction. It has magnitude also. In spite of having magnitude and direction, it's a scalar because it does not obey vector algebra. Its addition is simply algebraic sum of current. And it is one of the fundamental quantities. It is fundamental quantities. Charge is not fundamental in SI, but electric current is a fundamental quantity. And its SI unit is ampere. Ampere. We will abbreviate as capital A, ampere. You know its CGS unit? Its CGS unit is a BIOT. We will pronounce as BO. We will not pronounce as biot. We should tell BO. BO. but we write BIOT, but that's CGS unit, but SI unit is very popular in our study. This is current, and electric current is caused due to continuous flow of charges through conductor and charge passes through given area. If in delta T, charge delta Q passes from one surface to another opposite surface, then delta Q by delta T will give you electric current. So this may be due to flow of charge through given area steadily. It may be due to oscillation through the given surface. If it oscillates, that would be causing AC, alternating current. If it moves slowly or fastly in a particular direction continuously, it will give conduction current. Conduction may be of different type, direct current and alternating current. We will study alternating etc. in different way in another video. There might be current due to revolution of charge. In conduction current charge passes through given conductor in a particular direction. The direction is same to electric field if that current carrier is positive. It is opposite to electric current and electric field when current carrier is negative. In conductors, current carrier is negative, that's why charges drift opposite to electric field. Charges drift lower to higher potential, but current will be taken higher to lower potential. It might be due to revolution of charge. Suppose in a hydrogen atom, electron is revolving in a circular orbit, suppose of radius r. Electron is revolving with velocity v. If you take anywhere a particular cross section, through this cross section, in time period t equals to 2 pi r circumference upon speed v, this charge will flow once. This charge will pass through this assumed surface once. So current due to this revolution of charge will be electron E upon this T. E upon 2 pi r divided by T. So T will appear here. This is time. I'm very sorry. Will be V. V is speed of this electron in this orbit of radius r. We can write down this current due to revolution of charge as I equals to charge E, or I can take for for making generalization Q, and this time period 1 by time period will be frequency nu. Nu is frequency. This might be written down as this current I equals to Q. Nu is omega upon 2 pi. Omega is angular frequency. Right? I'm writing above here. This current can be written down due to revolution of charge, like electrons revolving in hydrogen atom or other atoms, is Q by omega by 2 pi, because you know nu equals to omega by 2 pi, and this omega is angular frequency. So due to revolution of charge, we can find out current in this way. Third one, current might be due to actual its motion. Current might be due to convection of charge. Suppose I am taking charge in my hand and I am moving with some speed in a particular direction. Due to motion of this charge, current will be caused. And this type of current will be called convection current. Convection current. So current might be due to conduction, current might be due to conduction, current might be due to revolution of charges. I am taking one of the example of convection current. I am taking one of the example. If not right. Suppose there is cylindrical metallic conductor. That cylindrical conductor and I am taking its radius of cross-sectional surface, circular cross-sectional surface is A or R. I am taking R. R is radius of circular cross-sectional surface. It is charged uniformly. There is uniform charge. Uniformly charged such that electric field at its surface is E, as electric field at surface of cylinder is uniform, and that is E. It is charged up to E electric field at its surface, provided that electric field is uniform on the surface. Okay, that is moving in this direction with velocity v. The cylinder is moving with velocity v. Charge is static on this surface of the cylinder, and that is moving with respect to ground. We have to find out current due to this motion of charged cylinder. I am taking a particular cross section here. That is particular cross section is here, and in dt time, dx length of this cylinder will pass through. Dx length will pass through in dt time. Suppose if lambda is the linear charge density, of cylinder, then charge on dx length is lambda dx. Charge on dx length is lambda dx, because lambda is the charge per unit length here. Dx length is passing in dt time, so charge passing through this cross section will be lambda dx. If you want to find out current, what about this current? This is charge. I am taking this charge as dq. This current will be dq by dt. I am writing here I equals to dq by dt, but you know dq is lambda dx. This lambda is uniform, that's not varying, that is constant. So that is lambda dx by dt. But what about this dx by dt? That will be velocity of the cylinder. That's equals to lambda velocity. This current will be given as lambda into velocity. Velocity is known to us, but we don't know lambda. We only know radius and electric field on this one. I'm taking this equation first. May I write down electric field at the surface of cylinder as E equals to 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by this radius r. This implies to lambda equals to 2 pi epsilon naught r e. This lambda will be given as 2 pi epsilon naught r e. I'm writing freshly. We can put this value of lambda in equation first to get current, and I'm just rubbing this one. From this first equation we can write current I equals to lambda V equals to 2 pi epsilon naught R E V. That's our needed current due to this cylindrical charge. Okay, I'm taking another example of current. I'm taking another example. Suppose this is tub filled with water. This is tub filled with water. That's water. There is metallic cylinder. There is cylindrical capacitor, suppose cylindrical capacitor. In which two coaxial cylinders are used. The distance between these two surfaces of cylinder is D, and D is very small. This D is very small. Its mean radius of this curved part is R. R is mean radius. Of cylinders. Dielectric constant of water is K. K is dielectric constant of water. Slowly with v velocity, suppose with v velocity, this cylinder is dipped inside this water. What would be current flowing through the lead connecting these two surfaces of cylinder? Find the current through the wire connecting leads, lead connecting wires. Suppose the potential difference V is applied. Potential difference V is applied across this lead. Capital V is, or I'm taking Gi, suppose, potential difference. This is the condition. Here one thing again, this is cylinder. There are two coaxial cylindrical capacitor. The mean radius of curvature is R. Here radius A and B are separately not given. The distance between these two surfaces is very small d. D is very, very less than R. No, D is very, very less than R. I am writing here D is very, very less than R. Xi potential difference across these two leads is applied. Dielectric constant of this water is K. Above this one there is air capacitor above this one, and it is pushed inside the water with constant velocity V. We have to find out current through lead wires. Okay. At a particular instant, when x length of this conductor is inside water, x length, this total length is suppose L. So this length in air will be L minus x. If x is length inside the water dipped, then L minus x will be length above the water, means that's in air. Then what will be capacitance of this one at this situation? This capacitance, suppose inside is C1, outside is C2. We can write down C1 as epsilon naught K. Since R is very, very larger than this distance D, so that will be like parallel plate capacitor. That seems cylindrical, but it will be like parallel plate. Both curved surfaces are very close and parallel. So we can have C1 equals epsilon naught area by distance D. Means we can have epsilon naught K, area is 2 pi min radius R into length x by D. In the same way, capacitance above this cylinder, above this water, that's in air, is epsilon naught into area 2 pi R L minus x divided by D. This is C1 and C2. And may you tell me about the equivalent capacitance C? Since this C1 and C2 will behave like parallel. Why? If this one is positively charged, that will be also positively. If this one is negatively, that will be negatively charged. Both positively charged portions will be connected because this is the same conductor. Both negatively charged will be connected, that is the same conductor, another same conductor. So C1 and C2 will be in parallel, and we will have net capacitance C equals to C1 plus C2. Once again we can have, I am writing here, C equals to epsilon naught, A by D will be common, epsilon naught, A means ki 2 pi R, A means here 2 pi R, I am not this, I will write in this way, epsilon naught 2 pi R by D is common to both. This one is Kx and this one is plus L minus x. We can again write this as epsilon naught 2 pi R by D. I am taking x together, K minus 1 x, K minus 1 x plus L. That is net capacitance at that instant. Net capacitance at that instant. But we have to find out electric current, not capacitance. What will find? What will you find? You have to find current. How can we do? You know, at a particular instant when capacitance is this one, Xi potential difference is applied by this battery. So instantaneous charge on plates will be Q C into Xi. Xi is potential difference. And this current will be due to motion I dq by dt. You know, Xi is constant, that is potential difference applied by battery, that's not changing with time. So that's equals to dc by dt. May you tell me dc by dt here? I am again finding this one, dc by dt here. How can we? dc by dt. How can you get this? Just I'm finding here dc by dt. That's epsilon naught 2 pi epsilon naught 2 pi r by d k minus 1 dx by dt. But differential of this L is 0 because L is total length of cylinder, that's constant. So we can write down in this way. And you know this dx by dt, that is velocity with which this cylinder is entering into water. Whenever you put this value of dc by dt, this one, in this equation, you can have current I as J 2 epsilon naught 2 pi r by d J epsilon naught 2 pi r by d k minus 1 dx by dt will be velocity v, and this is the current required at a particular, that is the current required. Okay, in this lecture we have studied definition of current, and I have taken two different examples due to convection and this one. In next video lecture we will continue current in terms of drift velocity, current and current density in terms of drift velocity, further resistivity, and some video lectures will be continued regarding this chapter electric current. Very good and very fantastic illustrations and illustrative examples will be taught in this video lecture. You must continue series in this series. Secondly, I run a particular institute for IIT, JEE, NEET, and other competitive exams associated with science and technology. If you want concept in depth, you can join my institution. Contact number is given in description.